Good afternoon. We are in Berlin at a congress, but it's not Berlin Congress of 1884, 1885 to divide Africa, but it's Berlin Conference to raise our voice on the issue of reparation and, genocide and reparation. It is very gratifying to see you all present here, filling up this hall to its capacity. Your presence here does not only speak volume of internationalism and solidarity, but as much about the just and nobleness of the cause for the government of the Federal Republic of Germany to own up its historical responsibility. This is as far as its excessive use of military power, even against innocent women and children, which culminated in genocide of the indigenous people of the then German Southwest Africa, as Namibia was known during the Imperial Germany's colonial occupation. Often some conservative German academics and some of their fellow apologetics in the developing world has been referring to the valiant act of self-defense of my ancestors against foreign occupation and the colonial confiscation of their land and cattle as mere rebellious, and their eventual genocide as mere atrocities. This is irrespective of the fact that there were two specific extermination orders, one 2nd October 1904, the other one 22nd April 1905 against the Nama. As a result of these two extermination orders, more or less 80% of the Ovaherero were exterminated, and plus minus 50% of the Nama were also exterminated. As we gather here today, a significant number of my fellow descendants are scattered all over the globe, especially in Botswana, South Africa, as well as Cameroon and Togo. And they were today they have perished due to sickness, and all were assimilated into the local indigents of these two countries. Some of my fellow descendants of the victims of genocide from Botswana and South Africa were hoping to be here with us today, but due to visa applications, they could not be with us. What a pity. I will not go into refreshing your minds about the reason why we are here today. We are here to take a resolution that we can deliver at the doors of the two governments. Compatriots, fellow participants, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to be categorical with a reference to the exclusion of the Ovaherero and Nama from the so-called genocide negotiations. We need to put this notion of exclusion in its proper perspective. Because at no point, and I repeat that, because of no point ever have the Ovaherero and Nama considered themselves excluded from the ongoing genocide negotiations between our Namibian government and its counterpart of the Federal Republic of Germany. Because we are made to understand that the ongoing talks are about massacres and German investment in Namibia. We in the progressive genocide and reparation movement have always been on record calling for a trilogue amongst us. In other words, the Ovaherero and Nama, including our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, as direct victims of the genocide. The government of the Federal Republic of Germany, as successor to Imperial Germany's government. Last but not least, our Namibian government, especially as a facilitator between the perpetrator. Such trilogue has never been hashed, nor has it taken place. Thus, the Ovaherero and Nama cannot be said to be excluded, because what is going on currently are purely bilateral negotiations between two sovereign states. And we have no desire to get involved in such. Testimony to this are the pronouncement last month by the Namibian President, His Excellency Dr. Hage Geingob, while on an extended visit to the United States of America, and I want to quote. Geingob said the government would also seek German investment, including wind farms, as a form of reparation for the Herero massacre in the early 20th century, when Namibia was a colony known as German Southwest Africa. Germans will come in a big way. The president was reported as having said this in an interview with Taylor Hall and Paul Wallace of the United States Bloomberg News. Is this not a categorical pronouncement by President Geingob? Then I don't know what can be clearer than this. How this, by any way stretch of imagination, could be understood and interpreted in the context of our just cause defies any logic. In a nutshell, it is not a matter of us joining the current bilateral talks or negotiations, or whatever or however you may want to refer to the ongoing overindulgence of the two governments. We trust the resolutions that would emanate from the deliberations of this historic forum over the next 2 days would go a long way to get the two governments to immediately stop the present reactionary shenanigans. They are engaged in and honor the letter and spirit motion of genocide and reparations passed by the Namibian Parliament in 2006. Simply stated, it called for the Namibian government to drive an initiative on genocide and reparation in the form of a trilogue, where it would be a facilitator of direct talks between the victims groups and the successor to perpetrator of the crime, the Imperial Germany, the government of the Federal Republic of Germany. When the government of the Federal Republic of Germany one day awakened from its slumber, illusion, and self-delusion on the issue of genocide and reparations, we are always ready to talk to them. The German government knows very well who are the legitimate, direct descendants of the victims of genocide and where to find us. We remain ever open to a real trilogue. Without being too much repetitive, in conclusion, I wish to refer to the third and last goal of this August gathering, as it refers to the right of the Ovaherero and Nama people as direct descendants of the victims. Because as a people, we have as yet to exercise such a right. We are not waiting for anyone to affirm our right on this issue. By own initiative, we stood up and started to affirm such a right. The right to speak for ourselves on the issue of genocide and reparation. Unfortunately, both our Namibian government and that of the Federal Republic of Germany remain so far not only deaf, but intransigent. but our rights remain inalienable. With these few remarks, I wish to welcome you all to this Congress and hope that together we shall craft out something in the context of the issues that I have just raised that would eventually compel the two governments and the world at large to specifically appreciate that our right as direct descendants of the victims of genocide is inalienable, and ultimately to start seeing daylight and reinvigorated hope on this matter. March on, a genocide and reparation trilogue must start in earnest. Forward ever, backwards never. I thank you.